Hey guys, Novel Bush today and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be talking about MHRise Sunbreak, and I've seen some talk about people a bit worried about how they're going to be dealing with monsters in Sunbreak when it comes to difficulty, monsters hitting hard, and maybe having to focus on counters as a lot of monsters are moving fast. Some people are a bit worried that you won't be able to do too much unless you master countering for the game, but I actually think there's a couple ways to get around that. I also used a lot in GU to get around the harder fights, but let's get into it. So as now in Sunbreak, monsters are getting faster, they're getting harder, they're hitting harder, in the demo at least. Astalos, Malzeno, some of the times you feel like you have to counter move. I've seen Hammer mains talk about, if they're not water striking, if they're not position themselves correctly, they're getting hit too much. And I think she shows resemblance to the older games. While in the older games we didn't rely on counters, we actually relied more on positioning. Unless you played Lance, you rely on counters, and some weapons rely on guard, but it's more about positioning and iframes and dodging through with skills like evade. And yeah, in this video I'm going to go through and show you just a couple ways on how you can take benefit of skills to make it much easier when it comes to master rank. So we're just in game right now and I am using a switch axe. I'm going to show an example. This switch axe has evade window 5 sorry, and evade extender 2. And with evade extender and window in conjunction, I'm able to dodge a lot of the fast hitting moves and get in on the monsters quite easily. So I'm going to be showing that in some examples. In some monsters we're going to be fine. So here we are in the demo Magnumano, sorry, the beefed up, amped up Magnumano fight in the lava caverns. So this is the event one with my evade window 5 armor. I thought Magnumano is a good monster to choose from because I mean you don't have to counter a lot of his moves. Some moves you can just dodge out the way, but I think his strength is another way to show how useful the skill evade extender can be. So hit, dodge. Okay, I didn't dodge. Okay, he's gonna dodge. See, the ability to dodge through stuff. I think some people have forgotten that. And then we also got hit with a hammer with evade window 5. And even on a hammer, being able to evade through roars and evade through some attacks, being able to start the fight with some extra hits on the head straight into a stun is really, really useful. Okay, now we're moving into Earplugs of Hammer, which was one of my favorites in World. It's not used in Rise, but you can still make use of it. Definitely for the starting hits, like I was saying before. Yeah, I know Rathian is quite an easy monster to show this one off on, but it kind of scales across with other monsters as well. Earplugs work quite well if you really want to just start getting those extra hits, start the fight well. Yeah, just make use of the skills to really benefit you in a fight. I mean, that's how Monster Hunter should be played. And there are more skills than just evade window and earplugs to kind of help you out when it comes to evading the damage. There's evade distance, being able to dodge further if you need to. That's really good in the hammer like level 1. I don't know if they're going to nerf it in Sunbreak, but being able to dodge away further from moves is also useful to get back into the fight. Quick sheath, if you need to put your weapon away, run about, maybe quick sheath can be useful. Guard, if you have a guard weapon, and you don't have counters all the time, maybe that's what's useful. And then there's other things. I mean, in situations maybe you're just gonna get hit and take advantage of that. So stuff like Counter Strike, you get attack boost after being hit and bouncing back from that. So just increase your damage after that. Don't be afraid to invest into things like defense. Divine Blessing. If you get hit, reduce the damage, recovery speed or recovery up as well. Healing improvements, recovering your red gauge of damage, and also speeding. Eating faster. Like a lot of utility skills, I think would be more useful now. I mean, depending on how they balance counters with other weapons as well that have counters, and some others that don't. But don't be afraid to mix around and look at some of these skills that could be useful in situations where you feel like if I fuck up my counter, if I'm not good at counters, I'm going to struggle, you know. Like, this will be, I think this is going to be really cool and really useful for these type of skills to be more used now in Monster Hunter. You know, in most Monster Hunter games, a lot of these utility skills and defensive skills aren't really used at all because people focus on damage. And it seems like more than ever now in 5th gen, damage has been the forefront of the picture. So all of these skills of even thinking about wanting some defensive stuff is out of, you know, people's minds, really. Which is a shame. Hopefully, you know, people have more, you know, more incentive to put some into some of these skills, because some of these can be really cool and fun to play around with. But you know, like, overall, I just want to, you know, to highlight some skills that can be useful for people to play around with. I know, you know, in older games it's more about positioning. In Rise, in the newer games, position is still a factor, but there's also countering. And in older games, a lot of times people would run skills like evasion was very popular with longsword, switch axe, you know, sword and shield, some of those weapons to try to evade. Dual blades, definitely. So, you know, we weren't countering back in the past, we were more evading, which is a different form of countering, to some extent. But don't be worried if you are worried that you have to just be countering everything. If you're not, you're not gonna stay alive. Look at your skills, you know, and yeah, hopefully they will help you to get up to victory. Alright, well, that's it for me, guys. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.